All right, everybody, welcome to the NBC Game of the Week. A little bit late this afternoon. Had some honeydew stuff to get done that took priority, but now we're back and we're ready to go here on this game that was played August the 25th, 1979 at Royal Stadium between the Kansas City Royals and the Boston Red Sox. Let's see if we can get a little closer here to the cards and still not lose peripheries. I think we're okay right here. We're at Royal Stadium where strikeouts are reduced by 3 and walks are reduced by 1. Starting, and I'll bring that back into play when the ballpark card is needed. Right now, we have right-handers Mike Torrez and Dennis Leonard on the mound. The real world game, Kansas City won 1-0 as they both pitched complete games. But Kansas City did on the Action PC computer, who is simming all these games that are not playing. Boston is 70-55. Kansas City is 58-69. So we'll start with Dennis Leonard. He was 14-12 with a 4.08 ERA in the 79 season. And hello, Kenyon. Hello, Jeremy. Good to see you. Let's lower this just a hair. I think that's going to be better right there. Okay. Starting lineup. Interesting. Stan Pappy is playing second base in this one. Not necessarily who you think would be for Boston. They do have on their roster at the moment. Well, they don't have Jerry Remy. He's apparently injured, but they do have Ted Sizemore that they picked up from the Cubs. He's on the roster as a backup second baseman. Also, Larry Wolf can play second base. Pudge Fisk is not starting this game either. We have Gary Allenson as the catcher. Everything else looks like it's pretty normalized, I would think. As normal can be. And now we'll get everything's going here. Fortunately, I can't do blue and white for Kansas City because of the blue background. I don't think the dice would show up very well. So we're just going to go with the standard red and white, even though it's more like Boston colors, but just trying to get something with some contrast. I wish I'd have bought the one with the green background, but oh well, you get what you get. All right, and again, since the little chute here is kind of small, I'm going to roll the D20 separately and only when needed. So Rick Burleson is your batter against Dennis Leonard. We get a 1-1, and that's going to be a range play at the ballpark. So we're going to bring in Royal Stadium right away for a range play at the park. And that is a 4-2, which is a ground ball to first. So we're checking the range of the first baseman, Pete Lecoq. His range is a 4. So 1-4, he will make the play. And he does. So he ranges over there, gets it, flips it to Leonard covering, and Rick Burleson is out of there. One away for Stan Pappy. 3-6, and that's a blank. Against the lefty, it's a walk plus, but against the right-handed hitter, it is a blank. So we've got a Pappy. Whoops. If I can get it to go down the chute, we will. 1-3, and that's a fly to left field. 2 up, 2 down go the Red Sox, and that brings up Fred Lynn, center fielder. Whoop, that one went on the outside, so let's fix this again. That's a 5-1. 5-1 is a possible error on a ground ball. It's a 1-2. It's a double to left field. Double to left, so there's no ground ball to worry about an error on. Willie Wilson's error range is only a 2 anyway, so the only way to make an error is on a 1, and there is no error there. So it is a double for Fred Lynn. 2-out double. And now we get our first strategy roll of the game with people on base and nothing happening. Here's Jim Rice. 4-1, and that is a ballpark card. So we're going right back to Royal Stadium for Jim Rice's at bat. We get a 5-6. That's a blank, so we got a rare play. We'll go to the rare play chart with runners on base. Rare play, runners on base. And we get a 51. Left fielder dives after sinking liner. Resolve as an S7 range play. And check injury for left field. I'm not doing injuries, so we're just going to check it as a left fielder range play. Left fielder is Willie Wilson. and his range is a 5, best you can have. So 1 to 5, he'll make the play, and the inning is over, and he does. So Willie Wilson saves the Red Sox a run right there by making a nice sliding catch to take care of the Red Sox. So we go to the bottom of the first. It is Boston 0 and Kansas City coming to bat, and Mike Torrez on the mound for the Red Sox. He was 16-13 with a 4.49 earned run average. And he'll be facing Willie Wilson. As so often happens, the guy makes a nice defensive play and he leads off the next inning. Willie Wilson stole 83 bases in 1979, so it's a good idea to keep him off the bases if you're Boston. That's a 1-6. That's a strikeout chance. His strikeout chance is a 14. The stadium takes 3 away, makes it an 11. And that's a 16. There's no strikeout. So Wilson will finish the at bat on his card with a 6-4, and that's a single to left field. So base hit Willie Wilson. You know he's looking to run. His attempt is an 11. Torrez adds one, makes it a 12. So 1 to 12, he gets the lead, and he does. So Wilson's going to go. He's a 17. Nothing on Torrez to change that. And now we'll look at Allenson as the catcher. So what kind of arm he has. He's got a 0 arm. So straight up, it's a 1 to 17 straight up. And it's a stolen base for Willie Wilson. So Wilson will steal second base. And that'll bring up Hal McRae. He is the designated hitter. 5-6. That's a walk chance. It's a right-hander. McRae walks at a 13. Stadium takes 1 away, so it's a 1 to 12. And that'll be a base on balls. So Torrez in trouble early, first and second. Nobody out for George Brett. For 1, that is a blank to a lefty. Automatic out to a righty, but blank to a lefty. Go to Brett to finish. 4-2, that's a power result to center field. Against right-handers, it goes all the way up to 18. That's a 7. That'll be a base hit to center field, a single to center. I imagine Willie Wilson will score. Lynn's got a 0 arm rating. He's already runs at a 5. And the single to center is going to add 2 to that. So he's going to score without a throw. No question about it. McRae runs at a 4. Can he get to third base? Single to center, first and third, you lose 1. So that would make him a 1 to 3. So let's see if he can get there on a 1 to 3. He does. So McRae will take third. So in the Strat-O-Matic vernacular, it's a single 2 stars. And the Royals lead it 1 to 0 early on. Brett's attempt at a steal is a 1 to 4. Does not get the lead, so he'll hold. And here comes the catcher, Darryl Porter. Red Sox are playing back for a double play. They need outs. It's a 4-1, and that's a blank to the lefty again. We'll go Darryl Porter. That's a 5-2. That's a pop-up second base. That's a big out to get. Big first out of the inning. Keeps everybody right where they are. And here comes Pete Lecoq. And this is one of the few, I've probably beaten this dead horse already 1,000 times. Inside pitches are wonderfully, it's an incredible game. It just has 2 minor flaws. This is exhibit A of flaw number 1. And that is the guy has 408 at bats, but he's a cookie cutter card. There should have been some way, even if he only had like 20 at bats against lefties, there ought to be some way that you can penalize him for facing a lefty. But I could hit him against a lefty pitcher and it wouldn't affect him whatsoever. Might affect the lefty pitcher, but it won't affect Pete Lecoq. So that's a minor detail. It's a minor nitpick. I'm not saying it's a trash game because of it, not in the least. This is still probably my second favorite game next to Strat. That's the one thing that kind of, particularly if a guy has this many at bats. I can understand if he had like 75 at bats all year, I wouldn't worry about it. But if the guy has 400 at bats, he ought to be rated for splits. I don't care if he had 407 at bats against righties and 1 at bat against lefties. He should be rated somehow for that. Just my 2 cents worth, so to speak. All right, so Pete Lecoq is up infield looking for that double play. He gets into a double play kind of regularly. He's a 3 there. Pretty high double play rating. 1-6 is a strikeout chance. He strikes out at a 5, but the stadium takes 3 away, makes it a 1-2. But that's a 1. He's going to strike out. So a rare strikeout for Pete Lecoq. And now with 2 outs, runners at the corners, we got Al Cowens, the right fielder. That's a 3-5. That's a range play. The infield was normal with 2 outs, so it's a regular range play for Al Cowens. And that's a 1-6. It's a single to first base, but we're checking the range of Yastrzemski. I'm sorry, it's Watson, not Yastrzemski. They would have liked to have had Yastrzemski because he's a 5 range. Watson's only a 3 range. So a 1-3. 1-3, he gets to it, and he does. So he will get to it, and he will flip to Torrez covering. And after all that mess, the Royals only come away with 1 run. So Torrez pretty fortunate. But Kansas City does lead it 1-0 after 1. And now Dennis Leonard back out. And he will be facing designated hitter Carl Yastrzemski. Hello, Brian B. I don't know when you got here, Brian B., but I was on my soapbox for just about 30 seconds talking about this particular card right here. And you can probably guess why. If you look at the card for a couple seconds, you can probably understand why. But still, inside pitch is my second favorite game. So has a lot more good than bad, that's for sure. Here's Carl Yastrzemski. 5-5, and that is a strikeout chance. He strikes out at a 7. Stadium takes away 3 for a 1-4. And let's see, the stadium took that away. He would have struck out, but Royal Stadium took it away. So now we go to Yastrzemski. 3-5, and that's a double to center field against the right-hander. So Yastrzemski gets a free swing courtesy of Royal Stadium, and he cashes in with a double. Yep, and not only that, but 408 at bats. All right, now here's Bob Watson. 4-4. That's a straight up home run chance off Dennis Leonard. Watson's a 14, so 1-14, and the Red Sox take a 2-1 lead. 17, he won't get the home run, but he will get a chance to swing. 2-2, and he's going to get a single past shortstop. I don't think Yastrzemski can score, though. He's only a 2, and to score, you got to be a 3 or better. To score from second, he's only a 2, so he can only go to third base. Runners are at the corners with nobody out. And that'll bring up Butch Hobson. Royal infield again for playing for a double play. 3-1 is a strikeout chance. He strikes out at an 11. Stadium takes away 3. It'll be a 1-8. And no strikeout, so Hobson will swing it. 5-3. He's going to fly to center field. Could be a sacrifice fly. His rating is a 2. But that's going to fail, so we'll go to the secondary. And it's a fly to center. Center fielder arm, Willie Wilson. I'm sorry, not Willie Wilson. Amos Otis is a +1. Runner at third, Yastrzemski is a 2. That's a total of 3. So 1-3, and he will still come in and score. And he does. Sacrifice fly by Butch Hobson will score Yaz to tie the score at 1 apiece. 1-1, and that's going to bring up Dewey Evans. Leonard, 4-6. Range play. They were playing halfway, so the infield is going to lose 1 on their range. 1-5. It's a ground ball to short, so shortstop UL Washington will now be a 3 instead of a 4 because they were playing halfway. He's a 3. And he doesn't get to 6, so he wasn't going to get it anyway. So it's going to be a base hit. Base hit past shortstop. Once again, Watson has to have a 3 or better to go to third, so he will stop at second base. So first and second, 1 out for Gary Allenson. Leonard, 2-2. That's a ballpark card with that @ sign. So we're going right back to Royal Stadium. That's a 2-1. It's a triple to center field. Gary Allenson I don't know if he had any triples or not in real world, but the stadium says he triples. So we're going to say on the AstroTurf, the ball just bounced all over the place in the Cavernous outfield. And before they get it back in, it is a 2-run triple for Gary Allenson. Red Sox lead it 3-1. Boy, the real life game of 1-0 is nowhere near this. Triple for Allenson. Red Sox lead it 3-1. And now the infield is in for Rick Burleson. Leonard 1-2 is an automatic out. And the automatic out is a ground ball to short. Infield was in, so that would knock him down to a 1, so he's going to hold. And there's 2 away for Stan Pappy. That's a 6-6 for Leonard. Possible error. Oops, what am I doing? I got to go to Pappy to figure out who the error is. 5-1. It's a liner to second base. There are no errors on line drives, so that's an automatic out. That will end the inning. But the Red Sox make it a profitable one. Capped off by the 2-run triple from Gary Allenson. Red Sox lead it 3-1. We go to the bottom of the second. Due up for the Royals will be Amos Otis, Frank White, and UL Washington. So AO, we got a little hanging Chad here. There we go. Get that somewhat cleared up. Here's Torrez. 3-2, and that's a wild pitch, so that's going to be a blank. And we go to Amos Otis. 1-1, fly to right field. Hauled in out there by the right fielder Evans, 1 away for Frank White. Torrez 1-2. It's a strikeout chance. White's a 9. Stadium takes away 3 for a 1-6. And it is going to be a strikeout. Frank White out on strikes. Second strikeout for Torrez. Here is UL Washington and his toothpick. 5-3, and that's a hit by pitch chance. He's a 0. -1, so no opportunity there for hit by pitch. We go to Washington. 5-6, he flies to right. So a much better inning for Torrez in the second. He gets the Royals 1-2-3. We go to the third. It is still 3-1 Boston. Top of the third, and it's Fred Lynn to lead things off. That is a 2-5. And that's a straight-up home run on Dennis Leonard's card. Boy, he's got 2 of those right there together. 2-5 is a straight home run. He's a 20, so it's automatic. Don't even have to roll for it because he's a 20. Stadium doesn't take anything away from home runs, so that 20 is going to be good all day long. It's 4-1 Red Sox. And they are getting to Dennis Leonard. Here's Jim Rice. 6-5. That's a walk chance. He walks at a 10. Stadium takes 1 away for a 9. And that's going to be a walk to Jim Rice. That is the first walk issued by Leonard. Rice, an attempt of 1, but the -1 from Leonard takes that away. There is a chance of a pickoff, though, so we'll make sure we don't roll the 20. We did not. And here is Leonard facing Yastrzemski. 1-3, it's a blank because he's not tired yet. 6-6 for Yaz. Ground ball to second could be a double play. He's a 2, but Leonard takes 1 away from that for a 1. They were halfway, brings it back to a 2. The pivot at short, UL Washington's a 0. So it's a 1-2 for a double play. But it's a 6. That means runner will advance. The only play is going to be to first base. Rice will take second base with 1 out for Bob Watson. That's a 20, so it's a chance of a pickoff on a 1-4. No 4. Where's Leonard? 6-2, strikeout chance. He's a 10. Minus the 3 is a 7. So no strikeout. We go to Watson. 5-2, pops him up to second base. 2 down. And that brings up Butch Hobson, third baseman. Leonard, 3-3, strikeout chance, 1-8, and that's going to fail. So we go to Hobson, 6-5, fly to center. But the home run off the bat of Freddie Lynn gives the Red Sox a 4-1 lead. We go to the bottom of the third. Capacity crowd here at Royal Stadium for this game. Don't know how anybody got in here. Have to squeeze in, I guess. Here is Willie Wilson, top of the order. 2-5, and that is a possible error on the ground ball. So let's see if we get a ground ball to have an error on. That's a 5-3. We certainly do. It's a single, so it's not going to be an error chance anymore. It's going to be a speed chance. So the speed chance for Wilson, he's a 5. 1-5, he beats it out. And he does. So it's an infield single for Willie Wilson. And again, he needs a 12 or less to get the lead. And he does get it, so he's going to go 17. And he's in there. Another stolen base for Willie Wilson. So he's at second base with one out. I'm sorry, with nobody out for DH Hal McRae. 1-4 is the ballpark card going back to Royal Stadium. And that's a 1-1. That's a home run to center field. Home run to center field. McRae's home run rating is a 7. If this fails, it's simply going to be a fly to center. And it does not. Hal McRae gets into it, and that is gone. The home run to center field, 1-7. That's a 5. McRae is just tied. Well, not tied the ball game, but bring the Royals 1 run closer, or 2 runs closer. They're only a 1-run deficit. It's 4-3 Red Sox on the 2-run home run from Hal McRae. And the runs are aplenty in this game compared to the real game, which was 1-0. Dice are just acting a little bit different today. All right, here's George Brett. 3-4, and that's going to be a blank. We've got a Brett. 4-6, that's a fly to center, 1 away. First out of the inning for Darryl Porter. Torrez, 3-3, that's a walk plus to Porter. So he's going to automatically walk with that 20. Yeah, 10 makes it a 30, so that's automatic. Walk to Porter, second walk issued by Torrez. Attempt is a 2. Does not do anything. So here's Pete Lecoq. 6-5 is a walk chance. He walks at an 8. Stadium takes 1 away for a 7. 1-7. And no walk there, so Lecoq will swing it. 5-1, fly ball to left field. 2 down for Al Cowens. 5-3, it's a hit by pitch chance. He's a 4, -1 for a 3. 1-3 is a hit by pitch. Nope, so Cowens will swing it. 5-5, ground ball to second. But the 2-run home run from McRae closes the gap. It's now 4-3 after 3 here at Royal Stadium. Leonard will be facing the bottom of the order. Evans, Allison, and then Burleson. Evans singled his first time up. 4-3, that is a strikeout chance. He's a 12. Stadium takes 3 away, 1-9. And that is a strikeout for Leonard. For Leonard, that is his first strikeout of the game. Brings up Gary Allenson. He had that ballpark triple his first time up. 2-3 is a strikeout chance. He's a 12. -3 is a 9. And no strikeout. So Allenson will swing it. And he gets a 2-5, which is a star 5. Ground ball to UL Washington. Makes the ground ball. Avoids choking on the toothpick. 2 up, 2 down. And here is Rick Burleson. That is a 2-1, and that's a blank on a wild pitch. So we go to Burleson. 4-5, that's a star 5. Another ground ball to short. 3 up, 3 down for Leonard here in the 4th. So the bottom of the 4th, still 4-3 Red Sox. Torrez back out, and he'll be facing the bottom of the order. Otis, White, and Washington. 2-3, and that's a walk plus to a lefty, but Otis is a righty, so it is a blank. That is a 5-6. Star 1 is a ground ball to second. And Pappy makes the play. Brings up Frank White. 6-6 is a walk chance. He's a 7. -1's a 6. And that is a 2, so he will walk. Third walk of the game for Torrez. White is an attempt of 8 to get the lead. And he gets the good lead. He's going to go 16, 0, and Allenson's a 0. So 1 to 16. And he's in there. Stolen base, Frank White. He's in scoring position as the tying run for UL Washington. 6-6, another walk chance. 1 to 9. No walk, so we go to Washington. 5-5, star 5, ground ball to second. That will get the runner to third. So White is now at third base with 2 outs for Willie Wilson. Torrez, 4-1, and that's a blank. Be an automatic out to a righty, but a blank to a lefty. So we go to Willie Wilson. 5-1, ground ball right back to Torrez, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Royals. They put a runner at third, but can't score him. We go to the 5th. It is 4-3 Boston over Kansas City. Hello, Frank. Oh, cool. Well, he's stolen 2 bases. Maybe he could hit. I don't think there's a way to hit an inside the park home run in this game, unless we count one of his home runs as an inside the parker. I don't know. Good game, though. I mean, it was 1-0, double complete game. I'm not sure either pitcher's going to get a complete game here because they face so many batters. But they should go at least into the 7th or 8th inning, I would think. Here's Pappy. 6-3 strikeout chance. 1 to 10. Nope, not going to do it. So here's Pappy. 6-3 flies to left, and right there waiting for it, Willie Wilson, 1 away. For Freddie Lynn. 5-5, that's a strikeout chance. Lynn's strikeout chance is a 1 to 8. No strikeout there. Here's Lynn. 1-2, it's a double to left field for Fred Lynn. He has had some kind of game. 2 doubles and a home run for Fred Lynn. Here comes Mr. Rice. 5-4, that's a home run question mark. 1 to 5. And that passes. Now that means a 1 to 18 is a home run for Jim Rice. And it is. 2-run home run, Jim Rice. 3rd long ball in the game. 1 by Kansas City, now the 2nd by Boston. And the Red Sox increased the lead back to that 3-run deficit. It is now 6-3. Of course, Rice had 39 home runs in 1979. That'll bring up Carl Yastrzemski. 1-5, that's a walk chance. He walks at a 10. 16 is not going to do it. Here's Yastrzemski. 2-4, and that's a single to left field. Base hit for Yaz. He's 2 for 3. He's no attempt to steal, though. Well, Brian, I hope if you're talking about inside pitch, I hope the Reds are not underperforming, as it seems like inside pitch kind of, I wouldn't say is non-favorable to Cincinnati, but some of the ratings, like Cesar Geronimo, leave you to kind of scratch your head sometime. All right, so here is Bob Watson. 5-4. And that is going to be a a home run question mark, 1 to 5 again. And that's a 3, so he's got a 1 to 14 to hit the home run, 1 to 14. 16 is not going to do it, so Watson will swing. 2-6, and it's a star 4. Ground ball to third, possible double play. He's a 3, but a -1 there makes it a 2. The infield is halfway, brings it back to a 3. The pivot at second is Frank White. He's a -1. So it makes it a 2. 1 to 2. And it's not going to be a double play. It'll be a fielder's choice, as Yastrzemski only runs at a 2. So it's going to be a 5-4 fielder's choice. And that'll send up Butch Hobson. Oh yeah, fast score. I wouldn't trust fast score with anything. All right, here is Leonard for 4, and that is a straight up home run again. Boy, he's hit that roll quite a bit. 1-15 for Hobson to be another 2-run homer, and that is gone. So Leonard's going to just about come out of this ball game. He's given up his 3rd home run. Home runs this guy give up in real world. Boy, to have 2 straight up home runs plus a home run question mark on his card, he must have been giving up home runs left and right. Anyway, 4 runs in the inning now. It's now 8-3 with 2 outs. Going to try to get him through the inning and then go to the bullpen. 3-2 is a blank. We go to Evans. 3-1, that's a double to left field. He's just getting killed out there. And here's Gary Allenson. 1-1, and that is a range play at the park. 1-1 again. That's a home run to center field. He's only a 1-2. So we got a range play in center field. So that is Amos Otis, and he's only a 2. And he can't make it, so that's going to default to a double. Another run is in. It's now 9-3. 9th man to bat in the inning, Rick Burleson. Leonard wondering where the manager is, but he's saying you got to try to get through this inning. I'm not pulling you in the inning. You got to finish the inning. 1-4. That's a range play. We go to Burleson. 6-6. It's a power result to right. 1-17. That's a 12. It would be a double to right field, but it's a range play for Al Cowens. Unfortunately, Cowens is only a 1. You can't get to it, so that's going to be a double to right field. That will score Allenson, and I think they finally relented and said, Dennis Leonard, you're out of here. So quite the explosion by the Red Sox, considering they got shut out in real world. 6 runs in the inning. It's now 10-3. And the new pitcher for the Royals, they have multiple options. You can go to Steve Busby, Al Rabowski, and Steve Mangori are the lefties. Patton and Quisenberry, I think they're going to go to Marty Patton. He's kind of like the long relief man. He's got a relief rating of 9. So they will go to Patton. And now Pappy, who led off the inning, will bat again. So Marty Patton. And Leonard's only going to go 4 2/3. All right, so Marty Patton is on to face Stan Pappy. Burleson at second, 2 outs. 3-5, that's a walk chance. He walks at a 5. No walk because the stadium took 1 away, so the 6 is not relevant. Pappy 4-2, and that's a ground ball to third, and the inning's mercifully over. So a 6-pack for the Red Sox, and they lead it 10-3. Hello, DJ. Hello, Mr. Utah Mike. So let's get the gory details on Dennis Leonard. Let's see how many hits he gave up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hits in 4 2/3 innings. 10 runs, all earned. And let's see, walks. He walked 1, and I believe he struck out 1. And that was it. So not the most realistic outing for Dennis Leonard, to say the least. Here's Hal McRae. It's Torrez, 4-5. That's a strikeout chance. 1-2-6. And no strikeout. Here's McRae. 5-1. Power result to right field, 1-11. And that's a 16, so it's just going to be a fly to right field. 1 away. Fly to right, and that brings up George Brett. 6-3, and that's a blank. Would be a home run chance to a righty, but blank to a lefty. Go to Brett. 3-5, and that is a star 6, which is a ground ball to short. Burleson makes easy play of it. 2 down for Darrell Porter. 2-3, and that's a walk plus to Porter, so he will draw the base on balls. Strategy rolls are obviously off now at this point in the game. And here is Pete Lecoq. 1-5, home run question mark. It goes 1-12, and that passes. So now Pete Lecoq needs a 3 or less. Doesn't get it, so now go straight to his at bat. 5-2, liner to short, and that will end the inning. So we go to the 6th. Red Sox firmly in control by the score of 10-3. Patton back out after facing just one batter. He will now face Fred Lynn. Lynn has doubled twice and homered. Obviously the player of the game. 4-5, and that is going to be a blank. We go to Fred Lynn. 4-5 again. That's a pop up to second. On the way. Yeah, speaking of the Rockies, Mr. Utah Mike, 2 games left in the replay against the Mets. 2 more games, one tonight, one tomorrow night. Special time for both of those are going to be 7:30. We'll start at 7:30 on both games. Not doing this 9:30 stuff anymore. I don't like playing that late. So 7:30 to finish these last 2 games. All right, here is Jim Rice. 4-4. That's a home run question mark. 1-17. And that passes. So Rice has a chance to get a second home run in a row and a 1-18. And he does. So back-to-back home runs and consecutive at-bats for Jim Rice. This one off Patton on that home run question mark. And the Red Sox now lead it 11-3. Here is Carl Yastrzemski. 5-1, strikeout chance. 1-4. And it struck him out. First strikeout for Patton. For Bob Watson, 1-1's a range play at Royal Stadium. Back to Royal Stadium for a range play. Get a 2-5. That's a single plus to center field. But it's a range check of of Otis, who's a 2. And he can't get to it, so it will be a single. And he is going to have to try for second base. He runs at a 2. Otis is a +1 arm, so 1-3, he makes it. It's a 6, he might be out. 6, he could possibly be out. The arm is a +1. +1. So that means 1-2, we go to the third chart. 3-6, he ends up holding. And he ends up holding at first base with the single. So 2-out single brings up Butch Hobson. That's right, no strategy rolls are off. I don't really know what I rolled. It's out of habit, I guess. 5-4 is a blank. We go to Hobson. 6-1, and that's a double to right field for Butch Hobson. Let's see if he can score. Right fielder arm is Cowens, who's a 0. The runner, Watson, runs at a 2 with 2 outs. He becomes a 3, and a double to right field. You lose 1 for a 2. So 1-2, he can score. He does not. He will hold at third. So second and third, 2 outs for Dewey Evans. Patton to Evans, 4-5, and that is a blank. 5-6, star 1, ground ball to second. And that will end the inning. So the home run from Jim Rice makes it now an 11-3 game. Torrez went the distance real world, but I don't know if he can do it this time because he's already faced a lot of batters. They'll be facing Al Cowens to start things off. Torrez, 5-3. And that's a possible hit by pitch. He's a 4, -1 for a 3. 1 to 3, he gets hit by a pitch. He does not, so he'll swing. 6-4, ground ball to short. Burleson is right there, 1 away. For AO, Amos Otis. Otis, my man. 6-5 is a walk chance. He walks at a 10. Stadium takes 1 away for a 9. And so the stadium just cost him a walk. But he will get the swing. 5-4, grounds it to short. Burleson makes another play. For Frank White, 1-3 is a range play. We go to Frank White. 1-6, that's a single to second, but we're checking the range of Pappy. He's a 2. And he can't get it, so the single will stand. And that'll bring up UL Washington. 4-5, and that's a strikeout chance. 1 to 12. And it's not going to work, so Washington will swing it. 1-3, flies to center. Fred Lynn is there, and inning's over. So Torrez can face 31 batters. He just faced 27, so 7 innings might be his max that we can go before he gets tired. Marty Patton has faced 7 batters. He can face 9, so they like to get him through the 7th inning if possible. He'll be facing Allenson to start things off. Four 2, and that is a wild pitch, which is a blank. We'll go to Allenson. 4-4, and that's a fly to center. And AO takes care of it. 1 away for Rick Burleson. 4-5, that's a blank. We go to Rick Burleson. 1-3, it's a ground ball to second, 2 down. 2-5, that's a straight up home run again. Boy, there's a lot of home runs on the Royals pitchers' cards. 2-5 is a straight up home run, but Pappy has a 0. So no home run, but Pappy will swing it. 4-3, he's going to get a single past George Brett. 2-out single brings up Freddie Lynn. 1-3, that's a walk chance. He walks at a 14 and no walk. So we go to Lynn. 3-2, and that is a fly to left to end the inning. That's good for Patton. Patton's going to go 2 1/3. He'll give up 1 run on 4 hits. No walks and a strikeout. So in 7 innings, the Red Sox have 11 runs and 17 hits in just 7 innings of work. So talk about annihilating the opposing team's pitching staff. They just did that. So bottom of the 7th we go. Torrez can face 4 more batters before getting fatigued or reaching fatigue. And Willie Wilson will be one of them. 4-1, that's a blank against the switch hitter batting left. Wilson 2-4, ground ball to short. Burleson's been busy lately. 1 away for Hal McRae. 3-2, and that's a wild, which is a blank. And that's a 5-1. Power result to right field, 1 to an 11. That is a 10, so that'll be a triple for Hal McRae. Hal McRae with a 1-out triple brings up George Brett. Infield back, of course, with a big lead. 4-2 is a strikeout chance. It's only a 1 to 4. And he will not strike out. Royal Stadium just cost him the strikeout. Brett, 3-6. Fly ball to right. Could be a sacrifice fly. He's a 1. No sacrifice fly there. Evans is a -2 arm. And McRae runs at a 4, so that makes it a 2. 1 to 2. And he cannot score. Because of the arm of Evans, he was not able to score. He had to hold. And here comes Darryl Porter. And this is at bat number 31. So after Porter, Torrez will be susceptible to fatigue. 6-2. And a good thing he's not yet, because that would have been a fatigue roll. Instead, it's a 1 to 7 single. And it's a 9, so it's a blank. We go to Porter. 4-1, ground ball to short, and that will do it. And they will go ahead and cap Torrez at 7 innings of pitching. So Torrez will go 7 innings, give up 3 runs. They were earned all early on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. However, he did walk about 4 guys, I think. Let's see, 1, 2, yeah, looks like 4 walks and only 2 strikeouts that I see. But he's in line to get the win, obviously. Now both teams need new pitchers to start the 8th inning. The Royals will go back to their bullpen. Red Sox are going to have Rice, Yastrzemski, and Watson. So they will go to a right-hander out of the bullpen, most likely. They will go to Steve Busby. Busby, mainly a starter, but in this little section of the season, he's in the bullpen. So Busby it is. He can face 7 batters. Should be able to finish out the game without having to waste any more pitching. So now Jim Rice, let's back this up just a hair. Jim Rice is your batter against Busby. 6-4, that's a walk plus, makes that a 20. Stadium takes away 1, so anything other than a 20, it's a walk. And it is. So Jim Rice will draw the base on balls. And that'll bring up Yaz. 4-5, and that's a ballpark card going back to Royal Stadium. 2-5, that's a single plus to center field. So by default, Rice gets the 2-base advancement. Yaz, the single. Center fielder arm is a +1. He's a 2, so 1 to 3, he'll make it to second base. He does not, he will hold it first. So runners are at the corners. Nobody out for Bob Watson. You feel back for the double play. They need outs. Score right now is irrelevant. 5-4. Oh, that's another straight up home run on the Red Sox, on a Kansas City pitcher card. Another straight up home run. 1 to 14 for Bob Watson. And that's gone. A 3-run shot for Bob Watson. Home runs are aplenty. Kansas City pitchers must have given up a crap load of home runs because their home runs all over their pitcher cards. Straight up home runs, not even question marks. Straight up home runs. So that now is 14-3 to score. And here's Butch Hobson. 4-1, that's an automatic out. And that will be 2, makes the ground ball to second, 1 away. Here's Evans, 4-3. That is a strikeout chance. 1 to 9. And he got him. 2 down. For Gary Allenson. 5-5. That's a possible error. 5-6. Ground ball to short. We're checking the error of Washington. He's an 8. And 9, he makes the plays. 3-run home run from Bob Watson, and that gives the Red Sox now a 13-3 lead, and they will go to their bullpen. See who they want to use for the last 2 innings. They can pretty much use anybody they want. So believe it or not, we're going to go to Alan Ripley out of the bullpen. Alan Ripley. He'll be facing Lecoq, Cowens, and Otis. I should have brought a lefty in to face Lecoq just to show the absurdity of that card, but I refrained. 1-4, and that's a blank on a lefty. We go to Lecoq. 3-5, ground ball to short. And I'll tell you what, Burleson's getting a workout the last three or four innings. It's been 6 threes all over the place. Here's Cowan. 3-6, and that is a strikeout chance. 1 to 4. That is a strikeout. 2 down for AO. 3-4, that's a blank. We go to Otis. 3-6, ground ball right back to Ripley. So an easy 1-2-3 inning for Ripley. He will finish off the game, obviously. Busby, he faced 10 batters. He's faced 6. So they would like to have him finish the game. without having to go to another bullpen. They probably will do the best. I'm going to do the best they possibly can to make that happen. So Rick Burleson is on to bat. And get this thing to do right here. All right, so Busby to Burleson. Next week, we hope to have a closer game. We hope so anyway. But you never know, because we're going to see the it'll be September the 1st, 1979. And we're going to see these same Royals again, only this time they'll be on the road at Yankee Stadium taking on the Yankees. That'll be next Saturday. All right, here is Busby. 2-2, and that's a range play at the park. That's a 4-6. It's fly to right, so we're checking the range of the right fielder Cowens. He's only a 1. And that's a failed range play. It's single or double. It's a single for Rick Burleson. Failed range play. 1 away for Pappy. Or nobody out, rather, for Pappy. 3-2 is a strikeout chance. 1-10. And does not get him. Stadium again took away the strikeout. Pappy, 4-4. Ground ball to, star 4. It's a ground ball to short, possible double play. But he's a 0, so it's not very likely. There were halfway, makes it a 1. The pivot at second is a -1, so it cannot be a double play. It is going to be a fielder's choice. 4-6. 1 down for Freddie Lynn. 5-6, possible error on the throw. 6-5, ground ball to second. Error rating on White is a 5. So there is no error on the throw. So now we go back and check the double play again. He's a 2. Halfway is a 3. Pivot at short is a 0. So 1-3, we got a double play. We do not. Another fielder's choice. Another fielder's choice. Back-to-back fielder's choices. And here's Jim Rice, rather. He's homered twice and walked twice. 6-1's a walk plus, so good chance he's going to walk again. The only thing that prevents that is a 20. Nope, he will walk. 3rd time he's walked in this game for Yaz. And let's see about Busby here. Busby, yeah, he's now fatigued. This is batter number 11 right here. So if he gets a parentheses, he will be dealing with fatigue. 4-4, and that is a home run question mark. 1-19, that is going to be a home run chance. 1-14 for Yastrzemski to go deep for a 3-run home run. 16, he's not going to make it, so Yastrzemski will swing instead. 3-3, flies to center. Inning mercifully over. So that's going to do it for Busby. He will go 2 innings of relief. He will give up 3 runs. 3 runs, and let's see, 1, 2, 3 hits. He walks 2, strikes out 1. So the Red Sox are going to accumulate 14 runs. It's like a football score, 14-3 right now. 14 runs on 20 hits. No errors. Royals 3 runs on 6 hits so far. So Ripley out to finish off the game. Facing the bottom of the order, White. Do it this way. White, Washington, and Wilson. 1-1's a strikeout chance to White. He is a 6. No strikeout. We go to White. 5-2, ground ball to third. 1 away for UL Washington. 2-1, possible error. 3-5, and that is a ground ball to second. We're looking at Pappy. He's an error rating of 5. And it is going to be an error, so I prematurely put the 0 for an error there. The play will be made if actually Kansas City has no errors because they're not going to be back in the field anymore to make an error. But on first base now is Washington. We get the E4 on Stan Pappy. Brings up Willie Wilson. 6-5, blank. We go to Wilson. 2-1, ground ball to second. Possible double play, but not likely. Not somebody as fast as Wilson. 0-0, halfway is a 1. Pivot at short is Burleson. He's a +1. So that's going to be a 1-2 to end the ball game with a double play. Nope, it's good runner advance. So the only play for Pappy is to go to first base. So 2 outs, and Hal McRae, the last chance. 6-5 is a strikeout chance. McRae strikes out at a 6. And not again, the stadium takes away a strikeout. McRae, 2-1, fly to center, and there's your ball game. The Boston Red Sox annihilate the Kansas City Royals 14-3. Ripley goes 2 innings, doesn't give up anything, gets a strikeout. So there's your line score. Boston 14 runs, 20 hits, and 1 error. Kansas City 3 runs, 6 hits, and no error. A far cry from the real score of 1-0. The next Saturday, we'll see these same Royals again, but they will be taking on the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. And that game will be played. The replay date would be September the 1st, 1979. That's the replay date. And if I look this up here, I can try to figure out who the starting pitcher is going to be in those games. Let's take a look here. 1979, September the 1st. We'll see what the pitching matchup is going to be. And it's going to be, if I can find the box score. There it is. It is going to be a pitching matchup of Ken Clay for the Yankees and Rich Gale for Kansas City. So not exactly a stellar pitching matchup. Kansas City won the game 9-8 real world. But Al Hrabowski actually pitched 5 innings in that game. I don't think there's any way possible he can pitch 5 innings in this game. His fatigue rating's a 5. Okay, so, all right, so let's figure this thing out here. Let's figure this stuff out here. Let's look at Al Hrabowski here. In this game, Al Hrabowski went 5 innings. He's only got a fatigue rating of 5 here. How in the hell is he going to pitch 5 innings when he can only face 5 batters? How is that even possible? How is he going to go 5 innings? Hrabowski went 5 innings in this game when he's got a relief rating of 5. That seems rather strange to me. But I don't rate him. I just play him. So anyway, just not a complaint, just an observation. All right, so thanks to everybody for sitting through this disaster of a blowout game. Can't always get good games, unfortunately. You're going to have games where they're blowouts once in a while, and this just happened to be one of them. Tonight, 7:30 Eastern, will be the Colorado Rockies' next to last game of the replay of the total replay against the Mets. 7:30 tonight. Sensatella for the Rockies and Cody Senga for the New York Mets. 7:30 Eastern tonight. And then tomorrow, we will have, tomorrow morning will be the final round of the 2025 British Open in History Maker Golf. And then tomorrow night, 7:30, once again, the final game of the Rockies 2025 Rocky Horror Baseball Show replay. It'll all finish up tomorrow night, and we'll be done with that project. Another project I can check off my bucket list and finish up. And finishing that project and not doing the Strat Basic anymore, that's going to free me up to do more things now. Because now I only have one everyday project, which is the 87 American League replay. I can play that, maybe play more games of that and get that going a little faster, or switch off and do something else, because the only other project would be this one here, the NBC Game of the Week, which is only once a week. And that's going to end, obviously, in October. And then the golf's going to probably end in October as well. So once we get to about mid-October, I won't have anything going but the 1987 American League replay. So I'll probably pick something to go on the side. I'm thinking about doing some sort of an inside pitch team replay, but we'll see. See how things go. I'm sure I'll be very busy in the month of October because in our yard there are tons of trees and there are going to be leaves aplenty to be dealing with. Leaves, pines, cones, sticks, whole 9 yards. If it was just leaves, it wouldn't be a problem. But when you mix in leaves with pine cones and sticks, it makes cleanup quite the challenge once in a while. So anyway, that's going to do it from here. Again, thank you for sticking with me through all this. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and we'll see you all down the road.